Today we are making gluten-free, egg-free chocolate crinkle cookies. So join us as we make these fudgy treats.
So we're gonna start with flaxseed meal. You can also use chia seeds if you want. We just like the texture of the ground flax better. So I'm doing a double batch, which will make about 48 cookies. So if you're doing a single, do 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. If you're doing a double, do 4 tablespoons, which is also a fourth of a cup. If you're doing the double batch, 3 of these. Otherwise, you will do 6 tablespoons or 3/8 cup if you're doing a single batch. So we're going to mix that up and let it sit for about 10 minutes. All right, and while our flax is hydrating, we're going to mix in another bowl. We have 2 cups of flour for a double batch, 1 cup for a single batch, and then we'll do half a cup of cocoa powder for a single batch or a full cup for a double batch. I like these to be real chocolatey, fudgy. So you need a lot of cocoa powder. And we'll actually try these again as we're going just to make sure they are chocolatey enough. So we'll get our 1 cup there. We're going to do a 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda for a single or half for a double batch. And 2 teaspoons of baking powder for a double batch or 1 for a single batch. And then we'll do half a teaspoon of salt. We'll get that all in and whisk it together here. All right, now that we got our flour mixed over here, we're gonna come to our mixing bowl or your hand mixer, however you do it. But we're going to cream a stick of butter for a double batch, otherwise a 1/4 of a cup for a single, so half for a double batch. And then we're going to add 3/4 cup sugar for a single batch or a 1.5 cups for a double batch. So a lot of sugar, not the healthiest, but very tasty. We'll get that in there and get our, you can see I just used the same cup, so I have a little bit of cocoa powder in there. It is very important that you cream the butter together because this will make them fluffy. So you do want to take time with this just to make sure your butter is nice and creamy. So room temperature butter, you can go ahead and use a vegan alternative if you would like these to be truly allergen free. Once this happens, we will add 2 teaspoons of vanilla for a single batch or 4 for a double batch. So you can just kind of see this coming together. It's starting to get creamy already. All right, once it's nice and kind of fluffy like you can see here, we add in our vanilla. And then we're going to add in our flax water mixture here. We'll just add that in and we'll continue beating that for another 30 seconds to a minute here. And once that is well combined, we're going to add in our flour. I would do it 1/2 cup to a cup at a time just to incorporate it, but mix it just until incorporated. So again, here's our wet ingredients, just mixing that up so it's well mixed. All right, so we're gonna start our flour mixture. Again, we're just gonna do that a little bit at a time here and mix it on low. You don't wanna overmix. And then we'll want to do it, mix it just until a ball of dough forms. And then we'll go ahead and cover it and chill it for at least 3 hours. I'm going to do it overnight, just because it takes a long time. And then we'll roll them out and cook them. So you can see it's pretty thick. I did add about 2 more tablespoons of cocoa powder just to get consistency and the flavor that I liked, but you can just kind of see it's pretty thick. It's extremely sticky, which is why we're going to refrigerate it for so long. And you'll want to handle this as little as possible when we are rolling these, because the butter will start to soften again and it'll get sticky again. But like I said, we're going to cover this, refrigerate it for at least 3 hours or overnight. And then we'll come back and roll them. And right, so once you have your dough chilled, you can see it's pretty solid and it doesn't really stick. So that was our goal. We'll take about a 1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar in a bowl, and you'll just add more if you end up using it up. And then we're going to use about a tablespoon to make 1-inch balls. You can use a spoon to scoop, otherwise you can just grab and roll. So we'll just roll this between our hands until it's a ball, and then you'll put it in here. I'll roll one real quick, and then we'll roll it in here, and then we'll put it on a baking tray with parchment paper. You'll want to preheat the oven to 350, and then we'll bake these for about 8 minutes. Leave them as balls. They will spread out, so leave space. And then we'll just show you a couple more, but otherwise they are done. Enjoy. They are best the day they are baked, or within 2 or 3 days at most. They get pretty dry, kind of hard. Otherwise you can freeze them and then warm them up. But like I said, just roll it into a ball and then drop it in your powdered sugar and roll it around.